Murphy's bookkeeping on some, but then I mixed in the middle rows to the Yeah, Courtney says, you shouldn't use these as well, they're dirty. You know what she did? She, how old is she? She's 10. She goes to a Christian school, and she was telling Rhonda that when they have chapel, they pray for people. And the little girl behind her prayed that her aunt wouldn't die because she was sick. And Rhonda says, well, what did you pray for? And she says, well, I just prayed that Grandma and Papa would get enough money to buy that typesetter they need. Well, because she heard them talking, they were watching the paper to get one, you know, because you buy them used, you don't buy them new. The next week, would you believe she bought one? I said, I hope she doesn't think that she can just pray for things and get it, you know, but we didn't mention it to her, so, no, we were unloading it, and Dick mashed his finger real bad. That's okay, Papa, I'll pray for you tomorrow when I go. He says, I don't need it tomorrow, I need it today. But that was so cute. She prayed they'd get enough money for a typesetter. That's cute.
All right, we turn it off for a minute. We get ready. Tell us about the first Christmas that you can ever remember.
Oh, Lord.
Was he there?
The first Christmas I can remember, I'll tell you exactly. We lived in that big brick house in the old Berry place. Us kids is out in the yard playing, the sun is shining just like it was today, and the honeybees flying all over the place.
Where was that at?
Kentucky, right across the river from Golconda.
Oh.
I didn't remember a brick house, Dad. I remembered that little frame house where Opal was born.
Oh, well, that brick house is way on down. Our brick house was in the dam across the Ohio River was just above where that brick house was.
Oh, I didn't remember that.
Big pecan trees all over the place. I think it looked like that.
Well, how many kids did you have at that time?
How many kids did I have?
Oh, you were little.
My dear, I didn't have any kids at that time. I had two brothers.
Oh, you were. How old were you?
How old? Oh, I was about somewhere around 11 or 12 years old.
Oh, and
Phyllis, when his dad died in Tennessee, they came back and lived with Grandma Caper's father for years until he died. That's where Opal was born, in that little house. They lived with, Mom and Dad lived with Grandma Caper in the house where Sid lived and raised her boys.
what'd you get for Christmas that year?
I just couldn't tell you to save my soul because we was poor people then. We didn't have anything.
One time he said that they all, I think Monty told me, they gave their kids bananas and that was all they had.
We had fruit all year. Yeah, we had
but at Christmas
like oranges. Dad used to buy stalks of bananas like that. Yeah. I was telling Courtney today, after all that stuff she brought from the Meltons and everything that they bought her, I said one time, the best birthday I ever had, Mom made me a flannel gown. You know, but she just has all of this stuff. And Rhonda was mad. She was really mad because Cynthia bought her all that stuff. You know, that's not right.
No.
That's really not right. They have too much. Too much. Can't you remember a lot of Christmases when you didn't get very much?
Oh, I remember many Christmases. And
when you did,
we were at a flea market too, and they had these old flour sacks. And I said my grandmother used to make me dresses out of those flour sacks. And my friend said, "What?"
Some of those flour sacks used to be pretty.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, I tell you.
You ate the flour and then you made dresses out of them.
Yeah, I can remember a lot of Christmases when we didn't get very much.
What kinds of things did you get for Christmas in those days, Granddad?
Do what?
What kinds of things did you get for Christmas?
Honey, we didn't get anything. We didn't have Christmas then like they have it now.
Oh.
We always had plenty of hogs to butcher for our meat for the year. That's
She looking for Sue?
chickens. Anytime we wanted chicken, we had chicken, and the time we wanted anything else, we had it.
We used
That's all they live for now.
We used to play sick to stay home from school on the day they butchered the hogs.
Why, that was a big deal?
Yeah, it was, really. It was something different, you know. Mom and Dad used to grind their own sauce, make their own pork sauce.
These hams you buy now, they're just meat, they're not ham.
Do you notice the difference in the hams?
Oh, yeah. Those smoked hams, like we used to have, was a lot better than these. These are cured.
They're all salty, though, aren't they?
No, if you smoke them, no. We had a smokehouse where you put that green wood and the smoke would come up and hang them. Yeah, I think that's how they cure them now. Yeah. I was gonna buy one. We were down in Kentucky and they had one of those Cracker Barrel restaurants. They had those cured hams. But it was awfully expensive and you're taking a big chance on it not being good. But it sure smelled good.
What are we doing? I don't know. We're listening.
That old phone, they quit chewing on it.
Tell your dad what a frog says. Get that thumb out of your mouth. What does he say? You told me just a minute ago.
What'd she say?
Said ribbit. I pointed out the frog and she said ribbit. Right?
Your grandma made that. That from, she made us one for Christmas.
Oh, look at
Helen's was getting kind of droopy.
what do they say?
What else can we have Granny tell us?
Bunny say ribbit? Ribbit.
What else can you tell us about Granddad?
I can't tell you much about anything else, honey. Not that interesting that I know of.
Why doesn't he tell you about when they used to play cards and one time he got mad at Mom and slept in the barn all night and like froze to death? She never let him forget that way. He used to get mad.
One or two nights we played all night.
Yeah, they used to play cards all night, but only once he slept in the barn.
What was the guy?
Say, 'cause he won or lost?
Asked him,
He played with it.
huh? Jim Grisham and his wife used to come see me and Mom. They come
Was a birdie?
one evening and after we had supper, we went playing cards. They got ready to go home, it was raining so hard they couldn't even see the car. I said, just shut the door and come on in.
And that says quack quack.
But when we lived on a farm, they used to, a lot of people would come and they'd play cards all night. That's when when we lived in Kentucky is when he
Chuck
got
and Eva
mad.
used to come over and we'd play cards. The folks from up in Iowa, when they were visiting, they always come over and we played cards, had a nice time.
Opal and Viola used to too, and Opal and Evelyn used to go a lot and play cards, but if he lost, the next time they went, he had a new deck there.
That's crazy because you get your fingers.
He don't like to lose.
From Vegas.
He don't like to lose.
Tell Raymond about your first job. I was telling him about that. The first job you ever had.
The first job I ever had? Well, the first job I ever had was when I was about between 11 and 12 years old.
Nowadays, an hour for 19.
I worked for a guy for 45 cents an hour.
What else can you get me? Let me switch sides.
45 cents a day, I mean, not an hour.
Yeah.
Crap.
And that was from daylight till dark.
It's your hands.
About 4 cents an hour.
The first job I had that I was hanging out
What'd you do?
on the farm.
Oh.
This picture.
Then didn't you say he made you the foreman or something?
I stayed on the farm until my kids was all pretty good size.
But didn't you say the guy made you a foreman? He made you the foreman of the job, didn't he? Weren't you the boss, the supervisor or something?
No,
I'm just joking.
that was
I think on the farm they
long before I married.
I don't think they had
That's a woman.
bosses on the
I'm
girl.
saying there were some other guys there that didn't work or something, so the guy put you in charge.
Yeah, that's right.
She got a new one. What's an owl say? Oh, she knew it.
You only had about,
She goes,
Just learned it.
you only had about 5 different hard
I just
times.
taught you something intelligent. What an
About
owl says.
300 acres of corn to cultivate and the hay to cut in. He was running for sheriff, he wasn't at home too much. Come and ask my grandfather if he'd let me go down and work for him. That's the first real job I ever had on a farm. I was getting $1 down board, keeping these men moving.
He was the boss and he was 11 or 12, he said.
Well, you know, Dick worked, you know where our shop is? Over here on Central, that used to all be cornfields. Dick worked 3 summers for that man that owned all of that land there to buy his first car. That Butch owned all of that. That was all farmland in there. And he sold all that for that
That's
shop.
when we got that nice collie dog. That farmer
Yeah.
Dickie worked for, give him a pup.
Yeah, he paid $1 for
Yeah, I remember that.
Corky. He paid $1 for him.
You know what that one is.
And when he got that blamed dog, she wasn't weaned. He had to sleep with her. And if he took his hand, when she got too big, he put her down on the rug, but he had to sleep with his hand on her head or she cried. And I think Buddy probably sleeps with Jerry because that dog is so spoiled.
What's the duck say?
Well, I went through some pretty rough times, girl.
What does the crab do?
But you
Rough times.
back then you didn't notice it though, because everybody was in the same boat. Nobody made any money. But I tell you, your dollars went a lot further than they do now.
Yeah.
Could buy a lot more with a dollar.
Mommy used to work too, didn't she? She was saying she worked.
Oh, yes, she worked.
In all kind of